can't have it if you won't say it. It's gonna be God.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is Brother G with my sidekick, Lily. Say good morning, Lily.
Good morning.
She's the playful mood this morning. Brothers and sisters, I want to touch on some things. And what I want to sort of touch on is, hold on 1 second, please. Perspective. In other words, better way to put it is, what are we living for? What are we living for? And this is why I asked this question. Things in this life come and go. Some things make you want to pull your hair out. Some things want to make you almost lose your religion. But some things just want to make you feel like you want to make you give up. To give up. But see, brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, don't give up. Your perspective, what you focus on. I was listening to the man of God this morning, Pastor Evans, and he touched on pretty much what you don't see is more than what you do see. In other words, everything you see in the three-dimensional world is temporary. I don't care if it's cars, I don't care if it's money, I don't care if it's buildings, I don't even care if it's land. It's temporary. Things that you can't see is eternal. In other words, before things materialize in this world, it was in heaven first. It materialized in heaven first. It was the thinking of God first. Now, are we living in the perspective of enjoying this world? Or are we living in the perspective of going home to be with Christ? Do we put more emphasis in doing things in this world than doing things that please Christ or get us prepared to be with Christ? Think about it. Do we put God or think of God first thing in the morning before our feet hit the floor? Or we think about what we're going to do today, what we have to do today, what we need to do today, what has to be done today? I've spoken this one time before about putting God first. See, that's the thing, brothers and sisters. And when I heard the man of God spoke this morning, it put me in perspective. That is sometimes that's what I be doing. I'm not living my life at time to prepare me to go to heaven. I'm living my life to prepare me what's going to be happening in this world today. I'm living my life, or sometimes I live my life in my thinking, how to please or get joy from this world. Not how to please and get joy from God. You see, you got to understand, one day our life is going to end in this world. And we're going to go to somewhere that's eternal. Whether it's heaven or hell, you're going somewhere that's eternal. And that made me think, am I preparing myself to go to heaven? Or I'm just preparing myself for another day here on earth? Am I feeding my spirit so I can hear from God? Or I'm just wondering what other people think about me? Am I positioning myself to help the kingdom? Or am I positioning myself just for others to say, I look good, I'm doing good, I'm a good person? I have to think about me on this. Yes, it's good to be popular. Everybody loves to be popular. But think about this. Would you rather be popular with people going to hell, or be popular with God when you go to heaven? Which every Christian wants to hear. Well done, good and faithful servant. Everybody wants to hear that. But the bottom line is we won't, because we're not doing what we have to do here to prepare ourselves to go there. Sometimes we can get blinded by God's blessing. There has been a lot of pastors, preachers, evangelists, where God had elevated. And then they stopped doing what they needed to do to get to that elevation. For example, before they got to that elevation, they probably seek God in every turn. They probably prayed and prayed and prayed to seek God's face. But once they got to a certain point, they figured they made it. Let me give you a little point of view here. You never made it until you are in heaven. I don't care what God bless you with. I don't care what God gives you. You haven't made it. I don't care if your church holds 10,000 people. You haven't made it. I don't care if you're the biggest preacher evangelist on television. You still haven't made it. I don't know where that came from. If for somebody, forgive me. Don't forgive me. I mean, you know what I'm saying. If for somebody. But what's your perspective in this earth? The Bible clearly says anyone who loves the earth is an enemy of God. If you love this earth and things on this earth more than you love God, you are an enemy of God. Because when you love this earth, let me say it like this. There's a saying, anything that you love, you will make time for. If you love this earth, you will make more time for this earth and things of this earth than the things of God. Think about it. You got a spouse. You love that spouse. You make time for that spouse. Oh, God is hitting me. You love your children. You make time for your children. Just like if you love this world, you make time for this world. How much time you making for God? To be with God, to be in His presence, for Him to talk to you, to teach you, to guide you. Or are you just looking for the things of this world? Ooh, I think I'm talking to me this morning. I really am. But sometimes I do that. I'm not perfect. I'm not claiming to be. I make faults, I make failings, and I will continue to make some failings until God come and Jesus come and take me home. But you have to recognize what your feelings are, address them, but God could correct them. And God put people and things in your past so He can talk to you, show you. But are we listening? Are we listening? What are we living for? We living for this 70-something years in this world, or eternity with God? See, He did a demonstration. He brought this long rope on stage. Couldn't see the end of the rope, but he got this section of this rope about that far, about 2 feet. He said this represents 70-something years, 70, 80 years it represents. That's your life on this earth. But after that 70-something years, where you going? What you being prepared for? Are you prepared to be with eternity with God? Or are you just preparing for this 70 short temporary years on this earth? Because this body, every day you wake up, this body is decaying. Every day you wake up, you're getting closer to the grave. Some people left home yesterday and never made it back home. Brothers and sisters, listen to me. Stop trying to put your emphasis and importance on the things of this world. Because after this world is gone, you got eternity. Where are you going to live it? Think about that. Your perspective. Where are you going to live it? This is Brother G, my sidekick Lily, saying, be blessed. Say bye-bye.